Strider is a Metroidvania type of game. It is a reboot of the original SNES title Strider. Sadly, I've never played the original Strider, so I can't say what's changed and what hasn't changed. But what I do know is, it's a very fun game. And here's the reason why. You're a techno ninja. Not a cyborg ninja like Raiden, a techno ninja. That really has nothing to do with the game. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, you get to play as a ninja who gets to change his scarf's color with his weapon. And it's like, whoa. You would think I'm joking about this, but really it's a core mechanic of the game. It changes your weapon's cipher, which is also the weapon and the element it has. Now, red isn't really an element, it's more piercing. Orange is burning. Blue is frost. And finally, purple is magnetic. And out of all of them, magnetic is the one that screws you over the most because it doesn't allow you to swing again until both discs that fly off your cipher come back to you. You also get secondary abilities which are, as you would expect, over the top. You get to summon a phoenix, you get to summon a panther, and the most boring of them all is a shield. I'm going to talk a little bit why it's such an annoyance to have 4 different elements you have to change throughout the entire game. The reason why is because there is a section just before the last boss that you're in an elevator, and you have to switch between so many different ciphers. It gets kind of annoying, and if you don't do it at the right time, you don't use it properly, you can literally screw yourself over. And the magnetic one, because it comes back in an arc, on that platform there are 2 canisters that heal you with a huge amount, and if you do it really close to where the canisters are, they're going to hit it and then you're going to lose one of the canisters which you might need later on. Now a lot of you might be saying, oh, he's not that good at the game, so he's complaining just to make up for the fact that he's not that good. He's just trying to make up a reason for why the game sucks. No, it doesn't suck. It's a really fun mechanic. It's just annoying that they do that on one section, because you're going to get extremely frustrated very quickly on that one section because there was no prior practice to you switching between 4 different ciphers. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about the boss fights. Now, they are crazy as hell. You get to fight an armored dragon, you get to fight a tank, you get to fight a bounty hunter. The Armored Dragon fight is probably the most memorable one of them all because it's the first one you ever do. And that's when you realize, this game is actually really crazy. Now the game has its issues as well. For starters, while I was recording, I noticed that the frame rate halved and so did the game's performance. By that I mean, once the frame rate went from 60 to 30, everything was in slow motion. Everything. I sadly don't have the footage to show of the frame rate halving and the game going slow motion during a boss fight because it hurt my eyes so much and I couldn't really do much as well. I had to stop recording just to complete the boss because it was getting on my nerves. And frame rate seems to be the only issue this game actually has. Everything else is extremely solid. And I'm starting to think maybe the game is not optimized properly, or just the fact that my graphics card is too old for the game, which isn't true because I checked the system requirements and my graphics card is more than capable of having 60 frames. No problem. Overall, I enjoyed my experience with Strider. It was extremely fun. I had a blast playing it. The soundtrack was actually quite good as well. And there's replay value in not only collectibles such as costumes and artwork, there's also challenge modes which has beacon run and survival mode. So I highly recommend you get Strider. 9 times out of 10 you have fun apart from that one elevator section which is a pain